Hey, what's up? The blessed love, how you guys doing today? These are marigold, guys, and these marigold produce so much seed, so much seed. You see that? All this is seed dropping out there. They produce so much seed. One of them produce so much seed. So I gotta pick them out early. Sorry guys, I gotta pick them out early. This is them right here. All this is marigold. Gotta pick them out early so I can basically save some seed and stop them from dropping their seed all over. Then I'm gonna have a bunch because their seed come back in the spring. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button. I will truly appreciate it. Hey Pure Grow, what's up, bro? Blessings to you. Yes, I'm doing pretty well. Memes, how you doing? Blessing to you. Thank you all for being here. All right, so today's topic is basically what we're going to be talking about today is making your own liquid fertilizer, or you could say making your own composting. It's not impossible and it's not too hard. The only thing is, most of them, the scent is really, really strong. Most of them. But there's a combination that I put together, and 3 years after, the scent, it don't have no scent, which is one of the most amazing thing. Yes, most of them, the scent is unbearable. But there's one that I did a few years ago, and 3 years later, there was no scent. That is a keeper right there, because the thing is, you could, like in the winter, say for in the winter, you're trying to overwinter some your plant, you could tap them up before you put them inside with some of that. The scent is no, there's absolutely no scent, and that is great. I did a video and I give the recipe. Yes, I did a video and I give the recipe. I show the plants that I use. It's wonderful. It don't give no scent, but most of them really produce a stinking scent. Now, marigold, if you notice the scent of marigold, lemongrass, and rosemary. Marigold, lemongrass, and rosemary. They kind of help hold back the smell. But you will have to put a certain amount of marigold. You will also have to put a certain amount of rosemary in order for it not to present the scent. But it's not about the scent, it's the production. If you're able to use it, like for instance, If you're doing an apartment, if you're gardening in your apartment or you're doing it in your balcony, it might be a little challenging to even think about making these compost tea to add to your plant because the scent is unbearable sometimes. Sometimes when you add that in your garden, the scent, you naturally, it lighten up the whole place. So you want to be, what are you doing? Yeah, Maurice, stick around and you're going to see what I'm doing. You're going to see what I'm doing, and if you listen, you're going to understand what I'm talking about as well. So, a great combination when you're making compost tea or liquid fertilizer, I'm talking about natural liquid fertilizer, and I'm also talking about natural liquid compost tea. You rosemary, lemongrass, and marigold help hold back the scent. But there's other ingredients, there's other combination that you could put together and eliminate all scent. And this is facts I'm telling you. Many people today gonna tell you about compost tea. Many people gonna tell you about liquid fertilizer, but not much people gonna tell you that they make natural liquid fertilizer or natural liquid compost tea without a smell. I did that. I have that right now, marinating even more. It's 3 years plus right now, not a scent. When you throw it out, you don't smell anything. So there's plants and roots, and there's some tree, certain tree body that you could, like the tree body that break down and turn into compost. Add that as well. That no soil, no smell, no smell. Okay, FOD official. Let me in. His FOD official said, "Let me introduce myself. I'm from Indonesia. Nice to meet you, friend. Nice meeting you too. Blessings. Remote life." With Ann said hi. Blessing to you. So Marigold help. Rosemary will help too. Yes, definitely. More, they help eliminate the scent. Basically, they help hold down the scent. But there's a combination with some plants that I use. It's going for 4 years now. That compost tea that I make is going for 4 years now, and I went to saw thing it yesterday. I use it all year in the year, all year in the spring. No scent, no scent at all. What get to me is if you put water. This is how amazing this thing is. If you put water, still water, it creates a scent. Just still water, and able to combine different roots and plants together and don't present a scent. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, remote said, I have some compost tea outside right now. Should I keep it in the shaded area? Yes, 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 yes. You can keep it in a shaded area, and sometimes you can open it. You can give it a little air. Sometimes you could give it a little turn and just cover it back. You could put it in a shaded area. That's where I really have mine, in a shaded area. So yes, that's a good idea. But compost tea is something, you know, you got to look at What you got to look at your plants in your garden, because many plants in your garden you could use and make compost tea. Many plants. But a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people believe you have to go and buy certain things to, to put around your plant. But many of these plants in your garden produce nutrients, some of them minerals, some of them carbon, all different type of benefit they produce. So if you're able to, this is why a lot of people take up the weeds out the garden and put them in a pile to break down. You see? Because these plants hold nutrients. Watch the plants, them how they grow. Watch them how they're productive. There's a special vines. There's a vines. I don't know the name of the vines. I know the vines run everywhere, and they sometimes they get thicker than your hand. You welcome remote live. Hi Brian, how you doing? Hi Fritz, how you doing? Hi CG, how you doing? Blessing, blessing. Yes, there's a vine. It grow wild everywhere. What it does, it will run up in a tree and choke out the tree. Suck all the nutrients, wrap its root around the tree and suck all the nutrients out of the tree. You see that vines? Do you see that vines? If you're able to get that vines to make compost tea, and that's one of them that don't smell. That vines don't produce any scent. That vines with a combination of others does not produce any scent. But that vines, I don't know the name, but trust me, it's loaded with nutrient, because what happens is it loves to run. It run everywhere. It run up in trees and it suck the life out the tree, the nutrient, all the minerals. Use that as compost tea. Use it as compost, and my goodness, your plants them will jump out the ground. Wait, Brian said, I literally just stumbled across it, but this gentleman sounds very knowledgeable. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Alana, thank you, Homesteader. How you doing? Blessings, everyone. I'm trying to learn as much as I can outgrowing your own food. All right, well, you at the right place. You at the right place. Put those in compost tea. Yes, there's a vines. Lifestyle TM Center 100. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for that 100. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you all for all the support. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, Jim Mama Grows, blessings to you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, the vines. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to take out a picture and I'm going to try to get the name of that vines. These vines run many different places. Many different places. You know why I saw this plant? I saw someone in the store. I saw someone in the store. No, I saw the store who is actually selling it. It's a vines produce a beautiful flowers in the spring. A beautiful flowers in the spring. But it will run. If you cannot control it, it will run and take over your whole yard, take over all the trees around. It runs, then it climbs trees, then it have these big string, you know what she? You know the sting them Tarzan the movie Tarzan does be swinging on. That's the one I'm talking about. It creates some vines thick like this, but it produces beautiful flowers in the spring. If you're able to get that into composting, your garden will be green and flourishing. I'm telling you right now. Okay, let me see. Brian said, absolutely, I'm grateful to have stumbled across this channel. Already learning more than almost any other channel on this subject. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Are you talking about passion fruit vine? No, it ain't passion fruit vines, Dream Mama. It's a wild vines. It's a wild vines just grows in the garden, in the forest. It just grows in the forest. It climbs trees. It wrap itself around trees. There's some fine root. It also climb the tree with some fine roots, and it will suck the tree. And when it done with that tree, the tree will dry down. There's no leaf, and the tree will dry and just fall down. That's how dangerous this plant is. You understand? So this plant sucks a lot of nutrient out of the soil. It sucks it out of different plants. So by you able to turn that into compost tea or liquid fertilizer, you'll be amazed. I'm telling you right now. You'll be amazed. Now, if you use that, there's some other plants that I put together with that vines. And 3 years later, I put some plants together. I put some roots together. I also put, like, the body of the tree, like the body of the tree. Like when the tree breaks down. Like when it breaks down, naturally breaks down, and you could scrape up the pieces, you add that inside there. 3 years later, no scent. And this is compost tea. We all know when we make compost tea or liquid fertilizer, we all know how bad that scent could be. But why I love compost tea? Why I love compost tea? I did my own experiment, and I've seen the difference. I've seen the difference. Don't get me wrong. You could use dry compost and spread it around your plant same way. You could do that. But the thing is, with the dry compost, it takes rain to come, or it takes you watering the plant in order for the plants to get that nutrient from the compost. But now, if you break it down in water and turn it to liquid compost, like you allow it to break down, marinate really well, break down really well, and you turn it into liquid compost or compost tea, when you throw that around your plant is instantly receiving that. Instantly. Once it reaches the root, instantly the plant able to suck that nutrient up through the root into the plants. So this is why I'm more working on composting now. So if you have the space, it's a good idea. It's really a good idea. All right. No, not okay. No, I don't think it's edible because I never eat it. Yes. Jimama say, whoa, okay. Is the vine in the ivy family? Okay. Is the vine in the ivy family? Ivy. I'm not sure. The vine, it don't have anything to choke you. It don't have no pecks, no pecks at all. It's just a vines. But the vines, when it run up in trees, you could swing. You could swing on the vines. You could swing on the vines. The vines hold very strong. And I can't remember the name, but I'm gonna get the name for you guys. I will get that name for you all. I use the organic compost tea on my citrus trees and boom, new growth. It's great. All right. All right. This is what I'm saying, pure grow. The plant receive it faster than if you add the dry compost around it. Instantly, it can receive the compost instantly. Because remember, let me see if I can get a plant here. Hold on. All right. This is the plant. This is the plant. And these roots is what suck the nutrients, the minerals, whatever the plant desire. These roots is what sucking that up and feed the limb and feed the leaf. You see, so they suck the food from the ground and push it up into the plant. So now the plant could push flowers, the plants could have new growth, the plants could have new leaf. Now, if we using, you see, this is one the feeder right here. See this? This is the feeder right here. Now, this one too. These are the feeders. Now, if you're using dry compost, like say for instance, you have some dry compost. How this plant's gonna get this compost? The plant cannot eat this. How it's gonna get this? The only how it could receive that is if this get wet. You see? Like if rain come or you wet the plant, once it break down, it's gonna release the nutrients, right? Because the plant cannot eat this. Right? Now, if we have in the liquid form, you see, in the liquid form, the plant is getting all the nutrients automatically. You see what I'm saying? So it's a faster way how to feed your plant. It's a faster way. Making liquid natural compost, it's a faster way to feed your plant. So if you see a plant lack of nutrient or it wants lack of nitrogen, if you could make these things natural and give the plant, then the plant receive it right away. Does that make sense, guys? Does what I said make any sense? All right. Does that kind of compost work for any plant? To me, for any plant, even fruit trees. From my experience, even fruit trees, it works. Even fruit trees. I'm gonna try get the name for that vines because I know it have a name because I see it work. I see they selling it in the store. So if they sell it in the store, it have to have a name. It's a beautiful plant. If you could control it. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. If you're on your phone, just double tap the screen, hit the like button. All right? I will appreciate it. Now, so I'm going to get the name for that plant and I'm going to let you guys know because you know what? You guys maybe have it in your backyard. Like for instance, if you have trees in your backyard, you might have it and don't even know that. It might be by the roadside, you could have it. You ain't have to pick the vines. You could just pull the leaf as well. You could just pull the leaf and you could use the leaf as well. You don't have to get the vines, just the leaf. Because the nutrients that flows through the vines also flows through the leaf. All right? Okay, D'Angelo, so should wait till the hot weather break to repot my young citrus. Definitely. Definitely. It's too hot now. It's too hot to repot. If you get in real heat, it's too hot for repot. I want to wait, me, I want to wait until the weather cool down. When the weather calm down, then I'll repot them. It's too hot now for that. Good question, Progo. Mega hot. Yes, it's too, because look right now, I have a papaya tree. I have a papaya tree right now. And the root is the container that I have it into. The root is already pushing up to the top. And I wanna put it in a bigger container so bad. But it's too hot. I'm gonna rather wait until later down, maybe in the fall, then I could repot it. All right? Brian said, I appreciate how much you go into details and really break down the answers, man. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, Jim Mama, appreciate it. I am in, I am in, farmer. Be careful with composting in flowers. Okay. Somebody say, well, uh, the thing is, from my experience, you see this, this is what I know explain. As a gardener, the plants them that growing in your garden, all right? The plants them that growing in your garden, you can observe them. They grow up nicely around your plant. I just take them out and I make compost tea. Now, I make compost tea with rainwater, not pipe water. I make compost tea with rainwater. If you watch my video, you will see me just pouring the compost tea around the plant, even on the plant sometimes. You never, I don't know what people use, but I never experience a plant get burned down or a plant get dry or the most I experience with compost tea is growth and production. So I don't know other people experience, but my experience, compost tea is wonderful. But somebody, all right, it's faster. It's a faster way to give your plants nutrients, mineral, nitrogen, whatever it needs. And you know what? As a gardener, if you have space, you could have a 5-gallon bucket. You can use, this is why as a gardener, you got to study a lot. You got to do your own research and your own experiment in your garden, in your soil, and the plants around you. All right? Because you have to know which plant to put together. Many people make compost tea, but it's the combination. It's the combination you put together to make this compost tea. You understand? These are things you have to observe so you know which plant to put together to create this compost tea. that can get your garden green and flourishing. It's a combination that puts together, and each plant, each leaf, each root produce their own benefit. Many of the weeds we see growing up in our garden, many of them release through their roots, release nutrients into the soil, especially in the springtime. This is why we see a lot of weed grows up in the spring. You notice before you start gardening in the spring, you realize weed just growing up, they feed in the soil. These weeds been feeding the soil. Then we have cover crop. Cover crop protect the soil and also feed the soil. So you have to observe these plants, that the job that they're doing. You have to observe the job that these weed is doing in your garden. Like for instance, you might have some weed between some cabbage or some peppers. And when you look, you see the thing them is just flourishing. Just growing beautiful and lovely with the weeds between them. That's you got to pay attention to. This weed is doing something wonderful to these plants. Maybe I need to use these weeds for compost. Maybe I need to use these weeds for composting to feed these type of plants. Because you see how they walk in between the plants. So it's all about studying, paying attention, and know what type of plant to combine. Like for instance, if I want nitrogen, if I want to make nitrogen into liquid, I'm gonna look for plants that produce nitrogen. I'm gonna look for plants that release nitrogen in the soil. That's the plant I'm gonna look for, and I'm gonna use that plant to make compost or composting or whatever you wanna call it. So when I realize I have a plant and it's not doing well, I might say, you know what, I think this plant needs some nitrogen. Now I could go to that nitrogen composting and throw some around it. Automatically it's gonna receive it because it's liquid. It's a faster, basically something instantly it starts sucking it up. So these are things you have to pay attention to. All right, let me go to the chart. Yes, makes sense. Thank you, Alma, thank you. Already done board, okay. Okay, makes sense. All right. Apple butter. Comfrey is one of the best for composting. All right, you see? Comfrey is, okay, you say comfrey is one of the best. I use comfrey as well, but I personally use many different plants for composting, because around my garden there's so many plants that I could actually use. In my garden there's so many different plant grows up that I can actually use. But composting, I don't know where to rate it at this moment, but comfrey works well. All right, that's a good compost as well. Good compost as well. Yes. Let me see. Sam Griffin. Hi, Sam Griffin. How you doing? DJ Cooper, how you doing? From Scotland, UK. All right, welcome to the channel. Collecting Acre. All right, welcome to the channel. So for all the new people who up in here today who never visit this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button because you wouldn't regret it. And also please hit that like button. All right, thank you. All right, Does liquid compost attract pests? You see, this is the next thing. Thanks for saying that. Thanks for asking that question. That's a beautiful question, Brian. Brian. Beautiful question. Since I've been making my liquid compost tea, I don't know for other people experience, but my experience is the compost tea that I make, what it does, it attracts beneficial insect into my garden. That's what it does. Beneficial insect. I don't know if people understand. In a handful of soil is so much bacteria in a handful of soil. So if we feed them with natural compost tea, you understand, we're going to keep them in the soil. They're going to remain in our soil. They're going to attract more into our soil. So my experience, because guys, the only thing I use is around my garden. I don't go around you bringing other things into my garden. And this is a really good question, because a lot of people use crap like they buy stuff from the supermarket and they throw that in the compost. Some people even tell you about meat, which I will never use in my compost. All these things, you don't know where they come from. You have no idea where they come from, but you putting them in your compost tea or your compost. You could introduce in some bacteria that you don't need it in your garden. You could introduce bacteria that's eating the roots of your plant. You see what I'm coming from? So stick to what you have around you. Make it work. Don't just go out and buy fruits and throw them in your compost. You understand? Like for instance, you might eat a fruit, you see a worm inside it. You take it and throw it in your compost. No, you now introduce a worm into your garden. So if you stick to the natural, what's gonna happen is gonna benefit, is gonna increase beneficial parasite or insect in the garden. All right? Yes, 100% compost tea is fantastic, but the problem with compost tea is phytogen, healthy compost or material doesn't always give healthy material out. Okay, well that's, you see, this is what I'm saying. Now, I'm not one of the guys who come out here and just speak. I'll go in my garden and I walk around and I show the growth, I show what I use, and for me, it worked well for me. This is why I keep saying it's the combination you use. It's the combination, it's the type of things you put together. You see what I'm coming from? The type of stuff you put together is the combination that makes your garden strive. And this is what you do. You study. You study the plants, them. You study the weeds that grows in your garden. You study. And then you combine them into compost tea. Then you could make judgment. You cannot just say compost tea ain't, you can't say that, because a lot of people is benefiting well from compost tea. It's the combination. It's what you put together. Is what to put together works together? Does it work well together? This is where it starts from. The things you put together to make this compost tea. So these things don't just happen overnight. I'm giving information because I'm trying to help people understand things you can do and things you can use. But combination is what makes sense. If you listen to what I was now saying a minute ago, watch the garden. Watch the plants that grows well with other plants. Watch the weeds. Watch how they strive between your pepper. Watch how your pepper strive with these type of weeds. You see me now explain that, right? Because it's about combination. All right? Which one is better to grow? Papaya from seed or papaya from store? Well, the truth is, I prefer the seed. Yeah, I prefer the seed. And lately, I've been trying to grow a lot of things from seeds because I think if I grow it from seed, it get accustomed to your growing zone. It get accustomed to the weather, and I believe you could get more out of it in that way. Okay, apple butter say I make fermented plant extract too with compost and the lactic acid bacteria help with the bad fungi and okay. Also, always use the new growth that where all the growth homes are. Okay. Grass clippings for nitrogen. Definitely. Grass clipping. Exactly. You see, this is what I was saying there. You have to know what gave you nitrogen, and that's what you use. You have to know what gave you nutrient, what gave you minerals. And these are you have to study, guys. You have to pay attention. All right? Because like I said, there's a million ideas out there. But at the end of the day, is who shows you the proof. It's who shows you what's working. Because everybody have their own different ways of making compost tea. Everybody have their own different way. But I believe in the mixture. I believe in what you put together. That's what I believe in. Because this is what, because the nitrogen, like DJ Cooper said, nitrogen. You could get that out of grass. Grass, like the grass clipping, you could get that from that. So if you're looking for nitrogen, then you look for another plant that produce nutrients. That's two right there. So you have nitrogen, nutrient. You look for another plant that produce mineral. You see, combination, guys. And that's where you're going to get result. A lot of people use anything. Yes, you could use anything until you learn and understand. But you have to pay attention to the growth, not just the growth, the production of the plant. Not just the growth, how the plant strive, the growth, how fast did this plant grow? How much does this plant produce? Did this plant produce one crop and just stop? That's not good. Or did this plant produce continuously until the end of the season? These are things you have to pay attention to. Thank you, plant. You welcome, Progo. You welcome. Got to go. All right, Brian. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you here. Got to go, everyone. Thank you for all the knowledge. Plant Academy TV. Much live and blessing, everyone. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Pinolopes. My okra plant has baby okra. Hold up. Wasn't I telling you hold on for a few days? You might start to see okra. Yes, a couple days ago, right? A couple days ago, Pinolopes. Yeah, Pinolopes. Yes. Yes, a couple days, I tell you, hold on, you're gonna soon. Check the same day. Oh wow. Wow, well guess what? You're gonna be harvest them pretty fast. Don't wait for them to get big and long. Harvest them pretty fast. The more you harvest them, the more this produce. All right? Okay. Progress say I use little tea, a little at a time on each plant. Definitely. Definitely. You see, and you see, this is where the this is where why there's so much information out there, and you got to be careful with the information you receiving, because you sit down and listen to 15 people. 15 people gonna give you 15 different ideas, right? 15 people gonna give you 15 different ideas, but at the end of the day, you wanna see the proof. You can't just be taking ideas because it's gonna number one, it's gonna confuse you. Number one, if we on this topic, many people gonna tell you about composting. Many people gonna tell you, oh, this happened and this happened. But if you listen to what I was saying in this life, it's about combination, it's about mixture, it's about how much you put. These are things you have to know. Because if you don't do this, you could overpower the other one. You could put more of this leaf than the other one, and this one overpower the other one. So it's all about the amount, the mixture, all this counts. So you have to be careful with all these information. And sometimes you got to take information and you got to try for yourself. You have to try, pay attention, see how it works. If you can't remember, write it down on a piece of paper that you could remember for next season. This is how we evolve. This is how we evolve and get more and more knowledge, more understanding. It's all about the mixture. It's all about how much you put. It's all because you might take 1,000 leaf and throw in a drum from one plant. And this other plant you take 25 leaf. And the other plant you take 10. Now you might create something there that this plant take over the whole. It take over, it overpower every other one. So this is where you got to pay attention, guys, with the mixture. This is why sometimes it's good to make separate composting with plants that produce nitrogen, with plants that produce nutrient, so you have them separate. So to make a combination now, you could add a cup of each and feed your plants them. So it's all about understanding. It's not just making composting. It's all about understanding. Okay, let me see. CCG say that waiting for produce is something, but when you see your fruit or vegetable, it's joy like yep, it is joy. It is joy. Because, you know, let me show you what's going on right here now. It's a blessing. Let me show you how great it is. You see here? Check this out. Check this out. You see? Ooh. It's a blessing. You see what I'm saying? It's a blessing. Just able to grow your fruits and just able to walk outside and pick a fresh, ripe peach. Ain't that something? So, yes, guys, it's all about composting. It's all about how much. Let me see. Okay. A Korean soul, you are very wise. Hey, how you doing? Blessings to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You growing tomatoes? Yes, 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 definitely. Definitely. See, this is amazing. Yes. I get excited when I have single ripe blackberry. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Progress. So your garden is in cruise control. No, but you still have a managed weed. Yes, 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 yes. And when it hits September, I'm not gonna be pulling out any weeds anymore because I will not pull out no weeds anymore. I will allow the weeds to grow because in October, in November, that's when everything gonna start drying down. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do now, all them weeds when they dry down, I'm gonna leave them and I'm gonna mix them back into the soil for the next garden season. So right now, the weed them is growing wild, so you have to control them. But as soon as September hit, no more weeding. The weed stays and you mix it back in the soil for the next garden season. You know, the the time you gotta be walking in your garden is now. From the spring, go through the summer, you work hard. Because we're gonna start happening when you start harvesting, you will be it's just gonna be harvesting and you gotta learn to able to preserve because when your harvest start come in, you got to be able to preserve the food as well. I I plan my food in a certain way. I plant my food that every day I can go into the garden and get a meal every day. I don't plant it to make big harvest one time. I plant it that every day I can go in the garden and collect a meal. It's a blessing, I'm telling you. You don't grow anything after September. No, I don't grow anything after September. I use that time to walk with the soil. Yeah. Yes, I use that time to walk on the soil. Yeah. Hmm. It is good life, guys. You also harvest something every day. That's how I go to. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense because you harvesting fresh food every day. You really don't want to be harvesting too much. You want to be harvesting, you're harvesting, then meanwhile you're preserving, You harvesting, so all through the season you eating fresh, healthy food. Make your body strong for the winter. Because you know when the winter comes, this is when the cold and the flu, this is when these things come by. So when you strengthen your body, strengthen your immune system, try to drink a lot of fresh tea to build your immune system. So in the winter, you feel strong. Yes, I'm growing watermelon. Matter of fact, the now start to flowers. The now start flowers. I plant them very late and they now start to flowers. Sissy said, what about the cruciferous vegetable that most grow in the fall? You can grow. No, listen, you can grow a lot of vegetables in the fall. You could grow collard greens, you could grow kale, you could grow onions, you could grow garlic, you could grow. It's a lot of plants you could grow in the fall. But what I do, I grow enough. I grow enough during the season. So when the fall hit, I have enough store until next spring. So basically, in the fall, I work on my soil because I want my soil. I start to get all them leaves that fall and start mixing them in my garden. I start to get all the weeds that dry down, start mixing them in my garden, use the dirt and cover them and just leave them until the spring. When the spring come, then I start to open the holes them for planting. It's a beautiful process. It's a real beautiful process, but very successful at the same time. Like now, I have Edos coming in. Dashing, these are fall crop. Edos, Dashing, Tanya. We have eggplant. Eggplant start producing like crazy now. We have the bell pepper, okra, and I plant certain crop. I don't just plant because I could plant. I plant crops that make sense to me. Like the pumpkin, we have pumpkin coming, squash coming, all these type of food that can store for themselves. These food, you could actually store them in a nice area for themselves. You don't need a refrigerator to store them. The Edo, the Dashi, the Tanya, the pumpkin, you don't need a refrigerator to store these things. You could store them in a box in your kitchen. You see? How do you prevent vines borer? How do I prevent vines borer? There's times I struggle. There's times I struggle with vines borer, but what I do, I comes out every day and I search them. I comes out every day and I search the plant because I really don't want to spray anything on my plant. There's something, vinegar and water, that could help, but you can't mix the vinegar too strong. White vinegar, you can't mix it too strong because it will burn up the plant. So white vinegar might help, but I'll come out every day and I'll search my plant. Like for instance, I had a tomato and when I look at the tomato, I see all the leaf gone. When I search the plant, I see 3 massive hornworms on top of it. They eat all the leaves. So because I'm a natural gardener, I got to be physical in the garden. because I don't want to spray anything. So I actually got to be physical in the garden to make things work. Yes. I plan, okay, Piogo say, I plan everything I like to eat. Yep. And it stores itself as long as it's in the dark, cool room. Definitely. You plant everything you like to eat. That's it. I don't go out there and try to grow everything because somebody else is growing it. No. I grow things I enjoy eating. That's what I do. I grow things I enjoy eating and can't like like say Pro grow say he grow thing that could basically store itself, which make a lot of sense. Yeah, which make a lot of sense. So guys, garden season is still here. Don't give up on your plants them. If you have a garden right at this time, don't give up on your plants them at all. You see? Over here, over here is where I have a lot of tropical fruit trees that's growing in container. Yeah. You see we have lemon there? Yeah. So even though even though I have a garden full of food, I still have food in container. Most of these plants here is actually growing from seed. We have the avocado, we have the grapes, we have lemon. They're actually growing from seed, and this is what I'm trying to do now. Grow most of my fruits from seed. Okay, thank you. I found one born warm and relocated. All right. Yeah, they will eat down the plant to the ground. So you got to be very careful. They will eat your plants to the ground. Like over there, listen me, I just plant food everywhere. You see what I'm saying? My garden is full of food. I have container food. I have raised bed food. I have right now I have a raised bed right there full with food. Pepper, eggplant. I'm telling you, you plant as much as you can, guys. Plant as much as you can. All right? So yes, guys, I want to say again, thank you guys again for another beautiful live. Thank you all for all the support. If you didn't hit the like button, guys, please hit the like button. If you're on your phone, double tap the screen. Support the channel by hitting the like button. I will truly appreciate it because here we go live and we show you how it all works. We show you what works. We show you the proof. I have a video that I'm going to be doing with a banana plant that I don't know what happened to it. I think I'm going to do a live on that. All right. So, okay, let me see. I don't think tomato hornworm eat on sweet pepper plant. I guess because it's sweet. I have this. What happened to you? No, I never see them on sweet pepper plant. I can't say that they don't, but I never see it on sweet pepper plant. But I see it, they love tomato. Oh my goodness. They love tomato really well. Yes, another plant they love is a plant almost look like tomato. It's tomatillo. Yes, tomatillo. My goodness, they love that plant. So I never saw them on sweet pepper. Never saw them on sweet pepper, but I know for sure. You see eggplant? Yes, eggplant too. Sort, listen me, sort your eggplant. I'm telling you. Guys, pay attention to your eggplant. These worms, they look like caterpillar and they big. They will eat on your eggplant in a day. Pay attention because you could go out 2 days, you ain't going to look at your plants them. And when you go out, you realize the leaf them gone. Pay attention, all right? A-time commando, what's up, man? Almost 10K, brother. Happy for you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. How long will it take the fruit tree from seed? Well, it depends on the growing condition. It depends on the growing condition. It depends on in the winter. Say, for instance, if you're doing over winter, like you planting indoors, you taking the plants in a greenhouse, it could be 3 to 5 years, depending on the growing condition. 3 to 5 years. But the thing is, sometimes you buy a fruit tree. Sometimes you buy a fruit tree and sometimes you buy a fruit tree and when you purchase it, it had on flowers. When you purchase it, it have on flowers. Then the flowers them fall off. Then the next year, it didn't produce no flowers. Then 2-3 years pass, it didn't produce no flowers. So sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes it's best you really start from seed. So it's up to you at the moment, but I know for sure it's about 3 to 5 years. Yeah. I only see handworm on my tomato plant. Yes, tomato. Yes, tomatillo, yes. Yes, yes, yes. They love that plant too. Yes. Okay, time commander say, do you have problem with Japanese beetle bugs? They are, you know what? You know what? I had a mango tree last year. I had a problem with them last year. I had a mango tree and they was in the mango tree. And I'm telling myself, maybe the pollinators, maybe they might help the mango tree pollinate. And when I look, I see the stuff them just falling off. And I'm saying, wait, hold up. When I realize, when I realize they actually eating the flowers off the plants. So someone told me just get a container with soap water and just knock them into the container and that solved well. It solved well. I ain't see one of them this year so far. It solved well last year. Yes, these bugs, man, listen to me. Don't look at them as pollinators. They're not no pollinators to me. I'm going to buy my fruit trees. I mean, listen to me, fruit trees is good. It's a blessing to be able to walk outside and pick your own fruits. It's a blessing. So I agree with you. Get some fruit trees, yes, so. Time commander, so they love grape leaf, beans, raspberry. Okay, all right. I ain't seeing them this year. So happy. They are on my blackberry, but they are so, yes, though. That's a problem. They're so pretty. It's like they're well designed. You know what I'm saying? The way they look, they like they're well designed. But they will eat your garden to the ground. I'm telling you. Yeah. Yes. So it's all, listen me. You know, people say like marigold. A lot of people say these keep bugs away. I don't know if they really do. Because I had a tomato right side one of these growing, these marigold plant growing, and these worms were tearing my tomato up. Maybe certain type of bugs they might keep away. Maybe. But in this thing, man, you have to pay attention. You have to learn from your mistake. And there's no mistake in gardening. It's a learning process. So if you try something and it didn't work, then you might have to try something different. So it have nothing to do with mistake. I believe it's a learning process. And the more you do, the more you understand. The more you pay attention, the more you understand. Sometimes you got to become your own teacher sometimes. Especially in your space, in your garden, you have to be your own teacher. Because this is your space. This is where you are. You have to master what you have going on in your space. All right? Okay, let me see. Plant flowers that attract hawk moth. They will kill. Oh, really? Okay, all right. One, those little black bugs were devouring my okra leaf. Wow. You see? Listen to me, this garden thing it can be very challenging. At times it could be very, very challenging. But at the end of the day, don't give up, guys. Don't give up. Keep growing. Keep planting. And you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. See you guys tomorrow, all right? The hawk moth lay eggs in the home. Okay, all right. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow. I had to learn that too. Okay. It's all about learning, guys. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day. Peace.